Okay.
All right. First thing I want to ask you, we're getting a lot of questions on almost like an indicator system for fronts. You know, and we'll talk specifically about tight ends. If we branch off, we could branch off, but
Yeah, no,
just,
I can talk about whatever.
I know you can. Just ways that you could just train your players.
Green good or black?
Green's perfect.
Okay.
I want my green sweater, we're ready. Just training those guys at your level, you know, I know they're talented players, but they're still football players. And,
Right.
you know, just train them to identify fronts. Is it from you, are you a number system guy, you odd or even guy? I know you see a lot of different things
Yeah,
probably.
we are a odd and even front, so, but we tell them numbers. So like, for instance, this is a nickel 4-2 front that I'm gonna drop, and I'm drawing up the inside zone versus a one back.
Okay, so we're talking
set.
inside
Now,
zone.
we can run inside zone versus two back, with the two back set too.
Right.
It's up to you how you want it, and we can talk about them both.
We're talking all just front blocking, nothing,
Yeah.
yep, more
Yeah, I
about
know, we're
backs.
just talking about this. So if we
Right.
have one back in the backfield, you know, we anticipate a six-man box, otherwise you gotta book a guy.
And when you call book is what?
Book is not block somebody.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so, for instance, in this look, the tackle's uncovered.
Right,
All right, so these three, right here, have to handle those three. These three on the backside have to handle those three.
right,
And that's just the way it's gonna work out. Within that, them knowing that, they have to make calls, okay? And when they make a call, that's gonna direct their feet. I always say disciplined eyes make disciplined feet. So when they see the right thing, then they're gonna block the right thing. So for instance, the first thing, we know the inside zone play, okay? Let's say we call it 94 here, all right? Our inside zone play. When the tight end and the tackle come out, they know their rules. They're either what we call tripling, where they're gonna work together, you know, a triple. If it's
three man,
yeah.
Okay.
No, two man. If it's a double, these two will work together. So basically, starting from the center out, it goes single, double, triple.
okay,
Okay, and then we had another guy to be a quad. Keeps it really simple that way. Those are our zone rules. So when these two guys are gonna work together, they would single. When these two are gonna work together, they would double. When these two are gonna work together, it would be a triple.
okay.
All right? Now, when these two work together, that there is no single and there is no triple. It's, when they hear double call, that turns this into a base block, and then that'll turn his into backside chip.
Right.
on the
Now,
backside.
double would be an indicator that you have a three technique to the front side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Now, or a 4-eye, could be a 4-eye.
Right.
Now, we also would double, we may double this look too, just depending on what a defense gives us, okay? So we could double what we call, that's an under right there.
Yep.
All right? We could double a 5 technique if they were a team that rocked their 5 technique.
Right.
And
Which
then you're not-
you see a lot of?
yeah, then you're not singling here, exposing this guy
I got you.
to that,
Yep.
and he goes outside target, this guy penetrates and slams to the back,
Yep.
the backfield, so we don't want that. So, as we're breaking film down, we're like, okay, are they bringing a bunch of this? You know, are they stemming, are they stunting?
Is there a percentage, because I was talking to the guy from Syracuse yesterday, he mentioned that unless it's over 51% of the time with that spike, he's not gonna worry about it. Do you
Yeah,
guys have a set
We don't say 51%.
Right, but is it- right, do you-
You know, we have
formula or whatever?
a feel for it.
Okay.
And if they're doing it a lot, and we can change it in a game too.
Right.
We're gonna go, hey, take that single off and go to
Gotcha.
double.
Okay.
Right now, and we'll switch it up like that. So that's, you know, that's versus an odd front. That could be not only an under front, that could have been a 34 front.
Right.
You know, head up nose. But right here, we're just talking this. So for instance, now, we said this will be a double block right here, okay? So double equals base for him, and then we're talking, now we should talk footwork, all right?
One sec,
Also,
Coach.
there's backer location on this.
I wanna get to the backer location now. With a 7 technique, do you see much heavy 6 or 7 at
Oh,
this
yeah,
level?
all the time. We
So
see
would
it.
that change the double look? Will you still man him up solo with the, whatever you call him, solo with the tight end?
Yeah, we would,
Okay.
probably. No,
More
there's
often than not or no? Or game plan, I guess,
Probably
right?
more often than not.
Okay.
And it depends on what beast we're blocking
Right,
there.
right,
Because
right.
we
Okay.
block some beasts
Yeah, yeah.
on that side.
Okay.
So,
So you had backer, you were saying?
yeah, now, if this backer were wider for whatever reason, say we were in trips as opposed to,
Yep.
can you see this whole formation
Yep,
in there?
got it.
Sometimes they'll plus the backers this way, you know, they'll have their nickel front slid that way.
Mhm.
Now we may work, like if this is a 6 technique, we might be working a triple to that backer as opposed to a double. Okay, and this guy would be slow rolling out, looking that way. Also, we just may make him the mic point right there, and we're checking to here now and booking him depending on the scheme and depending on what they do with that backside, because we know sometimes out of the gun, if we're doing this out of the gun, we could have a read on where we're gonna push the whole thing
Right.
and give him and book him, that's what we
Now, when
talk
you
about.
say identifying the mic, to you, that's where the combo is worked to, why do you?
Yeah, we will always, it doesn't have to be the true mic backer in the
Right.
front.
Right,
I mean, we can make anybody the mic, depending on the scheme, and we'll do a point. So we're gonna say, 56 is the mic,
yeah,
okay? Now, we may wanna bring it all the way back, oops, excuse me, say this is the nickel spot way out here. We don't wanna book it in. Make him the mic back there. And now we're keeping everything tight in a box, and we'll block all 6 of those guys.
okay.
So these 3 would have those 3, and these 3 would have these 3.
So depending on that backer's leverage, that call could check from a double to a triple
Yeah,
based on, okay,
yeah. Or it could check even from, you know, well, he may be in here, he may be right there,
right,
and it could be boom, boom, boom.
right. Who makes the call?
All calls start from the inside out.
Center out?
Yeah, and now the tight end, all calls start from the inside out, but the tight end can trump a call based on location. So he may say, for instance, we could have this, we could have a backer here and a backer here, and I'll give you an idea of a trump, where, let's say they do this, and they bring him right to the edge, and these guys were doubling now, and now that tight end sees a potential hazard happening, because we're gonna run inside zone this way, unblocked guy, play side. You don't want to book a guy on the play side, you can book a guy
Sure.
on the back side. You book a guy on the play side, it's a lost yardage play,
Yeah.
so he'll say, out, 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 to get this thing going this way, and then we'll have to book that guy, just to get the play started. We don't like to do that. We would rather new mic the whole thing and book this, but it doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah,
Sometimes the new mics have to come from the quarterback.
yeah,
If he sees it early enough, he can check us out, all the way out of it, or he has to say new mic to this spot to get the whole thing pushed so we can book the backside.
okay,
That doesn't always happen.
yeah. You get a lot of bluffing in this league.
Tons, tons.
How do you train guys?
Well,
Is it
that's the
just
thing.
communication?
That's
as
where
much-
the development of a quarterback is, oh yeah, whatever, you know, the quarterback. The quarterback, he really has the ultimate say in everything because he gets to see the big picture. And if he can see that type of rotation early enough and on time, he can change it. Or he may just say, you know what, forget that run, we're gonna run a pass, and he gets us into a quick pass or something else.
Okay.
But for the most part, all calls start from the inside out, the center sets the mic point, and everything goes off of that.
Now, the center sets the mic point to identify what exactly?
The scheme, who's blocking who, and when they're blocking them, and what angles we're blocking them on. Like I said before, if he declares this the mic out here to begin with, then this becomes, whatever spot this is out here is the Sam,
Right.
okay? And then this is the Will. They're just spots. That's all they are.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
It doesn't matter who they are, okay? So, again, if he declares this spot the mic, then now this is the Sam spot, all right? And this will be number 4 out here, and the receiver's gotta handle 4 because we're gonna be handling, these 3 are gonna be handling the 2 down in the Sam spot.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, some guys have number systems, some guys tackled uncovered and covered and all that, and that's all part of it too.
Yeah.
But we just, after you, you know, I don't teach, you got 3, you got 4, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
How come you don't do that? Is it just, this has worked for you?
There's so many variables, and things
Yeah.
happen so fast.
Okay.
Like I said, this guy comes down, who is it? He's really he's a new buck.
Yeah.
You know, or is
Okay.
he a new 4? That kind of
Okay.
stuff. So they start to see things. The more you rep it, the more they see it. I think it's good. I think it's all good. It's just how you teach it, what you're comfortable teaching, and is it getting done, what
Okay.
you are teaching.
What's the, real quick, the back's visual aiming point, pre-snap, what's he tracking on the inside zone?
We go inside hip of the tackle.
So it's a little wider than some teams?
Yep, and
Okay.
we are tracking the first covered lineman from the center out. So that could be,
Will it be a shade or no?
it could be a shade.
Okay,
Could be a shade.
so in a reduction
So
under,
we're gonna read the down man and feel the backer flow. So it could be a boom, you know, it could be, you could get into, let me erase all this, because you could get into a lot of different stuff. For instance, you could have that, you know, this backer.
right,
You could have that.
Pirate or
I mean,
whatever.
there's so many,
Yeah.
I could draw
Yeah,
all
sure.
night. There's so many different configurations. You know, you start in an odd front or, you know, an under front, like that, okay? And say this is a backer here on the edge, and you got this. You could have that.
right,
I mean, you could have it all going the other way, too. You could have, you know, where you got the whole picture, and you got it coming this way, and this way, and this, you know, cross dogs. I mean,
yeah,
so you have to give them a starting point on where to aim and where to look, and then you got to put the right guy back there that can feel it, and, you know, press it into the line and read it as you go.
yeah, well, you got somebody that does that pretty well.
We do, yeah, we're lucky. He's a violent runner, so that helps us.
All right, so 7 technique, you got a beast in there at 7 technique, you got a heavy 6. You
Yeah.
have a, I don't know what you call a solo block with that tight end.
Yeah, we will be base blocking that up.
So just talk to me about technique there.
Yeah, what he'll do is he'll pick his inside foot up and put it down really quick. So it'll be, I teach, like I'll say, outside foot strong inside hand. You know, inside foot strong inside hand.
Depending on alignment.
Yeah,
Okay.
where are they? Disciplined eyes make disciplined feet. So if this guy's out here, pick your outside foot up, put it down strong inside hand, you might be blocking him on the angle. I know this, inside zone shouldn't be bouncing out
Right.
there. Inside zone hits from our inside hip back to there. Pretty much full spectrum going backwards. Really, in my opinion, the backside is the front side on inside zone. So if you were in a 2 tight end set, this side right here has got to get it done. Because this side will push and the flow will happen this way, and then that ball cuts back right in here. So these guys have got to do a good job of building the wall, base blocking, doing all the backside blocks. It's not, I mean, everything's imperative on play side, don't get me wrong, but the
Right.
backside's the front side on inside zone.
Do you teach a single, you know, so many guys, you know, Callahan was here a couple years ago, he talked about like the single under, like are you still, what's the technique of that tight end? If
The
he's
tight
gonna-
end is gonna.
Is it a flipper, is it,
No, we don't use flippers.
Okay.
We got to get our hands on the
Okay.
guys. So what they're going to do is, I don't know how much you can see of this on tape, but say I'm heading this way, and I got a 9 technique. now.
right,
Okay, it's going to be bang, pick it up, put it down, stick my hand. So it all happens so quick, and by the time my second step is in the ground, my inside hand needs to be on that guy. My target is, I'm going to put my hat right down the middle of his sternum.
okay,
And we're blocking defensive ends that are coming out of 3-point stances in this
Right,
look.
right.
We're not blocking
Standing,
Sam backers
yeah.
that are standing up in 2-point stances and just trying to leverage the ball.
Right.
That's easy for us. It's when you're blocking the 315-pound defensive end that can run 4.7. And, you know, that's not easy. So what we have to do is create angles, and we're on a lift track. We're not going to push too many guys too far. My guys are 255 pounds. We're going against 300-pound guys. A light guy would be 285.
yeah,
Okay, so we're going to always be in the mismatch. So we have to create angles. So the angles that I'm creating is bang, we're going to pick it up, put it down, second step up and under, and this is our strong inside hand. So we want to be tight outside footwork, strong inside hand, so we can create the angle, and we know the ball's coming here. I don't want to be turned, you know, perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. I want to work on a 45-degree angle, pressing them this way, lose them outside. if I can lose them outside, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Now, if you have a wider 9 technique, some coaches teach to shuffle, some coaches teach a full reach. Like, let's say you have an
Yeah.
under front with a
Like when
sandbag.
we played Detroit Lions, that's a drop step.
Okay.
And basically what we're doing is drop stepping and kind of.
Is it a bucket? It's a bucket
Control
step?
run, yeah.
Do you call it-
yeah,
you call it drop?
block. Yeah, I don't want to be like
Right.
this, but I'm here and it's boom, boom, you know. It's setting my shoulders on a 45 right now, so it'd feel like this probably, where I'm picking this foot up, turning it that direction. And these guys, these guys, they're just smoking down the line.
Yeah, they're setting the edge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which is good. I mean, they're contained. This guy's the defender in that,
Right,
so.
okay.
That's hard. It's hard to do. We're basically, hey, you stay out there, we're running back here.
Yeah, but at least the guy knows that. The
Yeah.
ball's coming inside him.
Yeah, exactly.
So he understands that. Right.
We're not gonna lose contain.
Now, when you got that 7, okay, were you gonna say anything else on the single stuff? Because then I just have to double.
No,
Okay.
that's good.
If you got the 7, now let's say you're
You're
working.
saying 7
inside out, yeah.
Yeah.
So now you got the 7, and now you got it. I don't know if you see much of it as Sam stack alignment. Almost.
Well, then we probably triple.
Right.
If he's out here, okay.
So now just talk about the triple.
Okay,
technique.
now we're tripling. If we're tripling this look right here,
Right.
what I'll do is, I know he's got this zone, it's zone, right? So
Right.
I got the D gap, he's got the C gap. Well, I don't have a threat in the D gap. The only threat I have is that, and that's
Right.
a secondary threat,
Right.
okay? I don't have an immediate threat. So what I'll do on this, and we teach it 2 ways depending on who this is and how they do it, okay? I will take my outside foot, pick it up and put it down quickly. So it's basically just it's a boom, boom. So I can get my second step up and under him to get him to take this block over, and we say 4 eyes on 2 guys. So we get our 4 eyes on those 2 guys, wherever they come and go. Because we don't know where they're going. We
Right.
don't know how they're gonna get there, okay?
So it's,
Because-
in this situation, it's a right foot step. So it's like almost a settle step. Some
Yeah,
guys teach
it's
settle
a
step.
timing step.
Timing step.
Okay, so, and it happens like boom.
Right.
Boom, boom, like that.
Okay.
Because
What's the
I wanna be
contact point?
Powerful on my inside.
It's still the same contact
Yeah,
point.
because I wanna lift. Yeah, but basically, it's gonna be my hat's here now,
Right.
because his hat's gonna be here. And now he's taking his steps, he's going gap, or a zone step, okay? And then he's coming out, and then we wanna stay as square as we can for as long as we can. I wanna keep my outside arm and hand free.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be blocking him with my left shoulder. It's gonna be boom, boom, and I'm here, and I'm looking forward, I'm keeping this free because of this stunt.
Right.
And I wanna be able to catch it. I don't wanna be like this with my shoulders turned at an angle where this guy just goes ripping, just in case this goes that way. I just wanna catch it all in front of me. I don't wanna
Right.
be turned, I wanna be as square as I can for as long as I can.
Okay.
Not easy.
Talk to me about, you mentioned how important it is in the backside of the inside zone.
Yeah.
You mentioned base rules. Is it very similar to the front side, or is it
Okay, yeah, what we do back here to differentiate front side, back side, it's just still single, double, triple, but the back side is ABC. Okay, so if these 2 cats are working together, it's an A block. If these 2 cats are working together, it's a B block. If we're working together with the tight end and whoever this is out here, it's a C block, because it's A gap, B gap, C gap. We keep it simple.
Yep.
Okay? Now, if there were ever a safety down in there, we may say sup or C sup, safety's up. So we're gonna work together and you end up booking him. It's all based on who your runner is and who he would rather be. Would we rather block the line and have him come through and go one-on-one with a safety in the hole? Or is this some guy like a Malu who can come flying through at any second and create havoc in the backfield where we gotta go, whoop, we're gonna sup that, let that guy, he's usually an off guy that plays the quarterback naked.
Right.
So that's all film study too.
But doesn't the footwork have to change on the backside?
Oh,
of the
yeah,
zone?
yeah,
So
it
now the
changes.
footwork is more of a flat angle, the
Yeah,
cutoff angle? Or
Yeah,
no?
what we'll do is, yeah, that's not the same as front side.
Right.
Yeah. What we'll do on the back side is, it's still zone steps, everybody's stepping to the zone, okay? And now, say I have this look, I have a 5 technique in here. My steps are, basically, I hate to say bucket, but it's a zone step, is what I call it, zone step. And I'm trying to get the stripe of my helmet on the inside of the stripe of his helmet.
Yeah.
This guy knows that he doesn't have, in this look right here, he doesn't have a B-gap threat. He doesn't have an immediate B-gap threat. So he's gonna pick it up, he's gonna put it down, and he's gonna be strong on his inside, or his outside shoulder, knowing that he's gonna buy me time so I can take this block over so he can climb.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, it's similar to what we're doing over here, but not really.
You got some strong 5 techniques in this league, obviously.
Yeah.
So
You gotta keep them, you know.
right.
you gotta
Can the
keep
tight
'em-
end still do that with the bucket footwork? You know, or with the drop step?
Well,
Still, they
I mean, if you go straight flat, you can do it. I mean, it just depends on how athletic your guy is.
Yeah.
There's times where we put our guy in off position because it gives him a better angle to hit it like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we don't want penetration this way. If the guy goes down the line, that's a win.
Yeah.
Because now we can get behind it,
Right.
you know. But if he's in here and he's knocking our whole thing back and this guy's trying to cut back and it's just it's a mess.
Yeah.
So, it depends on the athletes you have back here. Some guys are more athletic, some guys are so stiff they can't even bend their knees. So, you know, you wanna just go straight flat. You gotta give a little ground to gain a little ground, and that happens real quick. You know, it's basically, it's gonna be this. You know, you're boom, boom, like
Right.
that. And you're ripping underneath. And I always try and get my outside arm underneath his armpit so you can lift him. And you always want to lift their down shoulder. You know, a guy, if you're looking at a defender like
Right.
that and he's playing, when he plays his leverage, his down shoulder is going to be like that as he's running this way. You want to lift that. If we can lift that down shoulder up, the law of physics is I'm going to have an easier chance to push him.
So I think you say down shoulder.
Down, so he'll be like, say you're coming at me this
Right.
way, and now he's here and he's defending, he's gonna keep this shoulder low for leverage.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is lift him up
Oh, I
like
got you.
this.
Okay.
So now I'm tipping and, you know, the
Yeah.
whole thing is going this way
Okay.
as opposed to he's ripping through and he's like this is his down shoulder.
Okay.
So when I'm teaching that, it's about getting that, when I'm blocking, it's here, and it's about getting this offhand up underneath his down shoulder, and now you get a little bit more leverage and you can push on it.
Okay. And the back could see that and cut back behind it, right? I mean, that's
Well, the back doesn't care what we do
Yeah.
with the guy's down shoulder. He sees
Right,
the
but
guy
it's some-
crossing his
right,
face or coming
right,
up the
which
field, and
happens.
he's looking for is a hole.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go to outside zone? Anything else on inside zone that you see now? I mean, you've been around a while. Just guys are doing, whether it's a tweak, whether it's just an adjustment based on what defenses are doing. What are teams doing now to kind of negate that play with their
Zone
front?
dogs, you know, where they're
Right.
bringing cross dogs and they're
Cross
bringing
dogs,
scrapes
things like
and they're
that.
bringing an extra guy in the hole. It may be a Mike strong safety.
Right.
It may just be like we showed earlier. It could be a
With that cross splits you have.
yeah, or it could just be this. They're bringing a guy off the edge, bang, right there, and they know, you know, in that look, oops, there's 4 on 3 right here.
Yeah.
You know, unless it gets new mic'd, then they're offensively or a guy short, unless you're booking a guy on the back edge back here.
Right.
So, you know, defensive coaches are smart too.
Yeah.
So if they pick up a tendency that the only thing you do at a single back is this, then just do this. Or walk him here and bring him down and create a 7-man box and
Right.
do some different things. And that's what happens, you know, when you only do that. Gotta be able to run both ways, inside zone, strong and weak. And then obviously some other schemes. You gotta have a gap scheme in there, I think. You know, gap or trap.
You do. 'Cause-
I do,
okay.
because of angles.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna just stunt, or they're gonna bring another guy, then you can trap them. Or you can, you know, pull guard, you know, the single back power.
Right. Which is a great, big nickel play now.
Right, and, you know, and that hits so much tighter, it hits down in here in the A gaps, where if they're bringing an extra guy off, you don't care.
See, that was my thought, like, would that affect the inside zone scheme? But you're saying it does because you're tracking the inside leg of the tackle, so I guess it's still wide enough where
Yeah.
it could be a factor.
Yeah, now there's other, you know, you asked me where we run ours, there's inside zones that hit here.
Right,
There's inside zones that hit here, there's inside zones that hit there, and there's outside, this is more like a slice play, and then the outside
Right.
zones hit here and here.
will you change the variance of your inside zone? Will
Oh,
you
yeah,
you
yeah,
will?
we run a 4-hole zone and a 6-hole zone. We also run, we don't call it a zone, but it's zone footwork,
Right.
zone principles as far as mindset, but it's more like a 12 dive. It's more like hitting right in here.
Right,
And these guys are more inside conscientious because we're trying to create that. It's not a whole lot of cutting.
right. When would you do that, if you see open, you know, a bubble in the A
Yeah,
gap
we
or
do
something,
that if we
defenses
see, you know, a lot of times, just guys that are just, you know, in our league, you get paid to sack the quarterback.
Yeah,
So, you don't get paid to stop and run, so you can see guys just come ripping up the field like this, and they go, oh, 12 dive,
right,
and just give it to them upside. And then, but, you know, you gotta remember, these guys are ripping up to sack the quarterback, and these guys weigh 350 pounds.
yeah.
So it's not so easy to just move on.
You got a few of them here inside that are dominant.
Exactly,